Chile's deep prehistory reveals a rich tapestry of human settlement dating back thousands of years. Early inhabitants adapted to the country's diverse landscapes, from the arid Atacama Desert in the north to the fertile valleys and rugged coastlines further south. Indigenous groups developed unique ways of life, mastering agriculture, fishing, and hunting to thrive in their respective regions. Over time, these communities formed strong local cultures, each with distinct traditions and social structures. Their resilience and unity enabled them to resist external imperial forces, preserving their identities through centuries of change. The Inca Empire extended its reach into northern Chile during the late 15th century, seeking to incorporate new territories into its vast domain. To support this expansion, the Incas constructed an impressive network of roads, fortresses, and agricultural terraces, facilitating communication and control across challenging landscapes. However, their advance was met with determined resistance from the Mapuche people. The Mapuche employed effective defensive strategies and fierce combat, ultimately preventing the Incas from conquering lands further south. This resistance marked a significant boundary for the empire, shaping the historical trajectory of the region. The Spanish conquest of Chile began in the mid-16th century as conquistadors pushed southward in search of new territories and riches. In 1541, Pedro de Valdivia founded Santiago, establishing a foothold for Spanish colonial rule. However, the Mapuche people fiercely resisted the invaders, sparking the protracted Arauco War. For centuries, the Mapuche maintained their autonomy through relentless warfare, strategic alliances, and cultural resilience. Despite repeated Spanish campaigns, the Mapuche remained unconquered, their persistence becoming a defining feature of Chilean history. Chile's journey to independence began in the early 19th century, marked by a series of political upheavals and battles against Spanish colonial rule. And as central to this struggle were leaders like Bernardo O'Higgins and José de San Martín, whose strategic collaboration led to decisive victories, including the liberation of Santiago in 1817. Following independence, Chile quickly moved to consolidate its new status by establishing stable republican institutions. The adoption of the 1833 Constitution played a pivotal role, providing a framework for governance and promoting political stability. This period set the foundation for Chile's enduring democratic traditions and growth as a nation. Chile's territorial expansion in the 19th century dramatically reshaped the nation's boundaries and its social landscape. The conquest of Mapuche lands marked the end of indigenous autonomy, integrating vast new territories but also fueling long-standing tensions. The discovery and exploitation of nitrate deposits in the north sparked an economic boom, propelling Chile into a period of rapid growth and modernization. However, this newfound prosperity was unevenly distributed, deepening social divisions between wealthy elites and the working class. The legacy of these changes continues to influence Chilean society today. During the 20th century, Chile witnessed the emergence of powerful labor movements and the spread of socialist ideas, which played a significant role in shaping its political landscape. These movements advocated for workers' rights, social reforms, and greater economic equality. At the same time, democratic traditions took root, with regular elections and the development of strong civic institutions. Chile became known for its commitment to constitutionalism, maintaining a legal framework that supported civil liberties and political participation. This dedication contributed to the country's reputation for relative political stability compared to many of its regional neighbors. Salvador Allende was elected president of Chile in 1970, becoming the first Marxist leader to gain power through democratic means in Latin America. His government introduced sweeping reforms, including nationalizing key industries and expanding social programs to address inequality. These ambitious changes sparked intense political polarization, with supporters praising his vision and opponents fearing economic instability and the spread of socialism, and tensions escalated as the country faced economic challenges and social unrest. In 1973, a military coup led by General Augusto Pinochet abruptly ended Allende's government, marking a dramatic shift in Chile's political landscape. The Pinochet dictatorship, which began in 1973 after a military coup, was marked by widespread human rights abuses. Thousands of Chileans were detained, tortured, and disappeared as the regime sought to suppress political opposition. At the same time, Pinochet's government implemented radical free market reforms, guided by economists known as the Chicago Boys. These policies included privatization of state industries, deregulation, and opening the economy to global markets. While these changes led to significant economic growth and modernization, they also increased inequality and had profound social consequences for many Chileans. Chile's transition back to democracy began in 1990 following years of military rule. The new government prioritized stability by combining market-driven economic policies with targeted social reforms, fostering both growth and improved living standards. This approach helped Chile reduce poverty and expand access to education and healthcare, while also attracting foreign investment. Over time, the country established itself as one of Latin America's most stable and open economies, actively participating in global trade and international organizations. Chile's balanced strategy has positioned it as a model for economic and social development in the region. In recent years, Chile has witnessed significant social unrest, with widespread protests highlighting deep-seated frustrations over inequality and social justice. These movements have sparked a national conversation about constitutional reform, as citizens demand changes to the framework that governs their rights and opportunities. Central to these debates are issues such as indigenous rights, economic disparities, and the evolving role of the state in providing public services. The push for reform reflects a broader desire for a more inclusive and equitable society. As discussions continue, Chile stands at a crossroads, navigating complex challenges that will shape its future. Chilean history is marked by several enduring themes that have shaped the nation's identity. Indigenous resistance, particularly from groups like the Mapuche, persisted for centuries, influencing cultural and social dynamics. Early on, Chile developed a reputation for institutional stability, setting it apart from many of its neighbors in South America. The country has also experienced stark economic contrasts, with periods of growth and hardship often linked to global markets and internal policies. Geography and politics have played a profound role, as Chile's long, narrow landscape and diverse climate have impacted everything from settlement patterns to resource distribution and political developments.